And by the way, this will kind of be your camera. This will kind of be my camera.
Baby, I look good on all of these.
Okay.
Sorry.
But for the people who might be new, let's just do like a real quick, reintroduction of who we are. I'm Jackson, of course. Jackson1616, also shooter, ACAM for Now Jax Productions. But these conversations and these podcast stuff, man, this is more under like the personal umbrella of me and not so much the Now Jax. And this will be on Patreon. So if anybody has not already subscribed to the Patreon, man, just hit the link in the bio real fast. Go to the Patreon and you can see all of the episodes and all of the crazy stories and the funnies and all of the bullshit and the shenanigans and everything like that. And my co-host for the evening is...
Hello, folks. I am Freckles, a.k.a. Timber. Most of you have seen me before. If you haven't, so sorry. Co-host, I sometimes shoot back up for Jackson for his BTS, and I'm just here to make this a good time.
All right. Let's get right into it today. We was here for like 3 hours last time, and I was kind of high too in the second half. So,
Nigga, I've been here for an hour and a half already now.
We talking about recording.
Oh, sorry.
We're talking about recording. So it kind of started off, man, like the whole online dating thing, Atlanta, new here, yada, yada, yada. But like today, I kind of really honestly just have like general kind of things. Mm-hmm. First thing though, let's kind of start off. Let's jump right into the bullshit.
Oh, the snicker.
Let's jump right into the bullshit. A couple of questions that we got last time that we didn't get a chance to get to. The first one was, and I'm paraphrasing here, kind of, sort of, but as a, did I send it to you? Oh, as a bigger woman or as a BBW.
That's me, by the way, guys.
Why do I have to? But you didn't send the question.
I know.
As a BBW, why do I have to, or why do people feel as if I should settle for less? Mm-hmm. Is one of the questions that we got after we recorded last time, but it was after we were finished, so we didn't get a chance to get to it. But I thought that was like really good, especially because you self-proclaimed to be a BBW, and then
Good save.
And then you just said it, and then I am, on record as, not being like my type for real. Mm-hmm. So I think this would be a really great conversation to have just between the two of us. So I don't think I can really start because I'm not a BBW. So like coming from the perspective of the woman who posted the question, how would you feel? Like, what do you think prompted her to even feel like that, first of all?
Because people try to make us feel like we should settle. Mm-hmm. Just because we are fluffy women. It's happened to me. I've had a guy tell me that essentially I was good enough for him to smash, but not good enough for him to consider being in a relationship with.
How did he say that?
Like that. Actually, he didn't say it like that. He was like, yes, I'm looking for a relationship, but not here with you. And I was like, okay. I was like, so what I'm hearing is, because I love to seek clarity. Okay. So I said, what I'm hearing is, I'm good enough for you to smash, but not good enough for you to have a relationship with. And he was like, well, yeah, because you're not my type.
Okay.
And, essentially, that didn't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. The gotcha was he wasn't mine either. Here's the thing, right? When men say stuff like that, it's always very interesting to me because a lot of times they're not our types either.
Okay.
Right? And so to tell a bigger woman, because you're bigger, you should settle for less. My initial knee-jerk reaction, not response, is, so since you're ugly, you should settle for less.
I mean, that sounds
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the moment you say that to somebody, now they're offended. But I can't be offended.
Well, I think you could definitely be offended.
I'm not saying that you are not giving me permission to be offended. I'm saying from their perspective,
Okay.
I don't have the right to be offended. I'm going to say something that's going to be wildly like a reach. But I kind of sort of, it's not apples to apples. Maybe apples to oranges or apples to pears. But like a big woman not being allowed to have standards or being assumed that she should settle is how I feel or partially feel white people feel about black people.
In terms of what?
Like us as black people having requirements and expectations and standing on like what we deserve and what we desire as people. Again, not apples to apples, but like in the same lane of because of who you are and how you show up and how you present and like what you have or who the makeup of you can't want or you should be okay with whatever we give you. Mm-hmm. That's the line of thinking that kind of takes me to. Again, for anybody listening, not apples to apples, and I totally get that.
Yeah.
It is a reach, and I know.
Okay.
But trying to put it in perspective for somebody who's not a big girl, right? Just offering a thought process. And for me, I've been fluffy all my life. Even like at my smallest, I was a thicker girl. I've never been small. And to be quite frank, I don't want to be small. Not my goal ever. I'm a person first. So regardless of my size, I am human and I deserve to have whatever it is I want. Now, for the men that say that to big women, I think it's okay for them to quite literally just walk away.
The men or the women?
The men.
Okay.
Because for you to tell a big woman, because you're big, you need to settle, you could have actually just left me alone. You can quite literally just not approach me at all ever, if that's your thought process. But for some reason, because they have the thought process of because you're big, you should settle, they also think that settling has to do with or includes us being treated any type of way. Because for you to say that to me is a treatment, and that doesn't feel good. Mm-hmm. That's rude.
See, I never
thought this deep about it.
Nah. Well, yeah, no.
What?
Yes, I have not thought about it that deeply.
Okay.
But like coming from like because I'm not on the receiving end of
Absolutely
that specifically, you know what I'm saying? But from a male perspective, I don't think it's. I mean, I can't tell you what your experiences have been, but I just never thought it was. I never thought it was so blatant as you a big girl, so you don't deserve X, Y, and Z. Not only from me, but also not from anybody else.
You never thought. Oh, I took it out of my pocket. Sorry.
Was it worse in there? Because I could still.
You could hear it in my pocket, right?
Yeah. What if it's like in a crevice?
I was trying to tug it, but I didn't want to press the end button because I'm clumsy. And you be talking about me having big thumbs.
Oh.
Is that better? Oh, I think
so.
better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So. Yeah, like I, from a male perspective, right? It was always just on some. It's not like you ever would say that, but it's just like going into it, you know, that this is probably just going to be like some casual shit or some fun shit, or you know, like this. I just don't see her being my girl, but she cool people. She funny, she cute in the face or whatever, but she just bigger than what I prefer. So, you know, we just gonna do whatever we do, but it just probably won't get past that. And to be fair, I think men kind of do that regardless of a woman's weight, in terms of just like putting you in a certain bucket,
Sure,
based on certain characteristics or traits that you may have or may lack.
That's a people thing, though, not a men thing.
Fair. But I just think I think it's more, it might just be more, like more of a spotlight on the BBW thing just because when you're talking about like in the dating world, how you look and like how you're built and your physique, like that plays a big part. And there are some people who literally prefer BB dubs, right? And then there are other people who just simply don't. And I just don't know why it's like, I don't know, because I know niggas don't always go towards what they prefer in like a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that would be up to you to kind of like decipher and like figure out, well, what is this person actually like me for? Like what bucket is he putting me in? But I will say before you jump back in, I think we, and when I say we, I just mean as a society. I think I do think we're really really soft. I do think we're really really sensitive in terms of like criticism of appearance and of weight, specifically weight of women specifically. And it's almost like an overcorrection. That should spook the shit out of me. It's almost like a hold up. Oh, sorry guys.
That scared me real
Yeah, me too. I thought it was a camera at first. I thought it was a camera.
I thought it was a ghost.
Don't say that.
Sorry.
But it's almost like an overcorrection of it coming from like in the 90s, right? Like the whole European standard of beauty. You got to be slim. You can't have no stomach. Back then you really don't even have no butt, just had boobs and shit. And then it kind of slowly went to like the like slim thick thing, and now like the BBL thing is a thing. But like just flat out BB dubs or like just people in general, men or women who are just like overweight, that's never really been the thing to be put on a pedestal or to be looked at as like, this is the epitome of what attraction or attractiveness looks like. So then somewhere in there, it was almost like an overcorrection to put bigger people like in the forefront of things, of commercials, of media, of body positivity. That to me specifically was really only geared towards women though. And body positivity to me was only really towards weight or like body shaming.
It's giving DEI. It's giving DEI. Sorry.
Tell me how. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have a few things to say. I'm so sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm gonna go to my other thoughts later. But this, as you were speaking to like the overcorrection of this one attribute of a person, right? So then they went to put like bigger people in the forefront. The same thing happened with DEI, right? It's like there was work to overcorrect the reality that Black people were essentially overlooked. And so then they put Black people in the forefront, right? It's the same exact thing. It's not an overcorrection per se. It's making light to what's always been there, but systematically has been overlooked or shoved to the back.
But okay, so in terms of dating and in terms of...
Yes, but before you go there, do you understand the correlation?
I do.
Okay.
No, I totally do.
Okay.
But I think the difference in it is the part of, but in the realm of dating.
Sure.
In the realm of dating and attraction or attractiveness, right? Like, there really is no one main guy like pulling the strings or puppeteering everybody. Like, I think in the world of being outside, the world will show you what we want. I feel like the world will, like, if I were to go outside, 6 foot nigga, I'm probably like 250, 260 or some shit like that, right?
Dick nigga.
Shut up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You just put me out there in terms of like I don't know what I would make a year or some shit, or my job title or whatever, and you just like line me up versus other niggas, like niggas who are shorter than me, niggas who are taller than me, niggas who are in better shape than me, niggas who are in less shape than me, niggas who got more money than I do, niggas who got less money than I do. Like the market itself is gonna tell me like where I am in the hierarchy of things. And that don't really have nothing to do, in my opinion, with media. That is strictly what bitches like. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you line 10 people up and then the 100 people out there go stand in front of the person that they think is the most attractive. To me, that don't have really nothing to do with like like propaganda or no shit like that. And I think it works the same way with women. But sometimes, like with women, it's like comparing it to the DI shit is almost like you're saying that the reason that BB dubs weren't getting picked is because society was telling us to not be attracted to them, as opposed to it possibly just being maybe less men are attracted to BB dubs than they are to slim thick women or thick women. And I'm not saying one is an absolute and one is like, I'm not saying that they're absolute, but I'm just saying like it seems like when we have this discussion, like we always leave that part out of it. Like maybe if we got a BB dub right here, a thick chick right here, and a slim chick right here, just maybe more niggas is gonna go to the slim or the slim thick or the slim chick as opposed to the BB dub chick. It's like we just leaving that out as an option.
We're not. We are not.
Okay.
So I need to go back. And I need to do a late preface to this conversation.
Okay.
You and I have come to this crossroads multiple times. It's not at this topic per se, but we always come to the same exact place. You're one person. Mm-hmm. You're a really nice guy.
You one person too?
I am.
You're not that nice.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Go ahead. I'm talking shit.
I'm not nice. I'm kind. I'm not nice.
See?
Anyway, you're really nice. And I'm trying to go back to when you were like, I didn't know it was so blatant for essentially men to tell women.
Just be like, yo, you cool, but you big, so I can't fuck with you like that.
But that's because that's you. Mm-hmm. Right? A lot of big women have had experiences with many men who do that to us.
Okay.
It's your tact, right, that holds you back from doing that. That's not even something that you probably would ever have imagined to say to a woman, regardless of how you felt.
Right.
You might think it.
Right.
You may even share it with your friends, both men and women friends, because you shared that with us. Mm-hmm. But it's not something you would ever say to that woman. Kudos to you, right? But I want to remind you that you're the minority. Actually, I can't say that because I don't know. But there's two different types of men. There are men that will say that, and they have, and they will continue to do so. And then there are men like you who may just think it. It may just be a part of your weeding process, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. The other thing I wanted to say to you was you mentioned puppeteering. And you mentioned that there's no, like, it could just be that people and men are, less men are attracted to bigger women. Mm-hmm. I want to go back to what you said earlier about the European body, white women, the flatness, right? That was what was in magazines. That was what was portrayed. I wouldn't dare think that that's not a part of this. Because then when they started showing bigger bodies, women with, let's go back to and make it very simple for people, America's Next Top Model. In the very beginning, nobody had shape. And the shape they thought they had wasn't shit there for real. But then they slowly started seeing different women and introducing women that had a little more to offer. Mm-hmm. Maybe they had bigger boobs, or maybe they were a bit more hippie. They never got too crazy, but they did start introducing different shapes of women into the show. Mm-hmm. I think that I hear you when you say it's not a societal thing. I disagree. Because I also wonder for the men who don't like BB dubs, or the men who will be open to just maybe having sex with them, is it that they don't like us? Or is it that they're not sure how comfortable they will be when society sees them with us? I'm not speaking about you, but I'm speaking about the majority of men that say they don't like us. Because me being a big woman, I've come in contact with men who swear they don't like us, but they love me. Love me down. Love me down. They want the sex. They love the personality because I'm the homie lover friend. They, though, are afraid of what other people will say about them if they showed up with a me. So I'm having a hard time aligning with it could just be that majority of men don't. I don't believe that because I know for a fact there are a lot of men who say they don't, but they do.
But what are we? Cause see, I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree. But there's so many nuances in what goes into what makes a man want to actually go all the way and like commit to a woman, and claim a woman out loud in the world, in society. And part of like let's even if it's not weight related, right? It could be I've had women that I've dealt with where like you can't see horror on
Shit,
nobody.
me down here in
Sometimes.
Atlanta, you can. Oh,
Sometimes
you
you
put the
can,
sometimes on it. Okay,
yeah.
all
See,
right.
because you're right. You can't see it
Shit.
sometimes. But like, it's not like a chick's body count is like plastered on her forehead, or you can't really you don't know how many guys a chick has dealt with in a certain city. Like some you just don't know, right? But sometimes but that's something that can go into like the decision making process on whether or not a man wants to wife a chick or whatever.
But why? Why not wife a whore?
Because it's like one of those, that's like a male ick.
Tell me the why, though. I want to know the why. What's the ick? Why does the thing give you the ick? And name the thing.
Because the because men are visual. Envisioning your girl just being with so many dudes is like it's an itch that you just cannot get rid of.
But you'll fuck her. You'll become one of the niggas. But why can't you then wife her? You've moved past all the other 200 niggas that she smashed to fuck her.
That's a lot of niggas.
Sure, and I made it extreme on purpose.
That's a lot of niggas.
Yeah,
man.
it was made extreme on purpose. She smashed 200 niggas. You know that she at least got 70 of them. Might not know it's 200, but fine. Right? You were able to put that to the side to smash. Right? Cool. What's the thing that stops you from then wifing her? You've already put your life at risk. Yeah.
I mean, you put your life at risk having sex with anybody anytime.
Absolutely. But it's more at risk.
I don't know. They say the hoes be more. They
Answer the question. Focus.
Well, I am focused. The street that you're trying to drive me down is how the public will see it. I understand that.
I don't even need you to go there. I really want to walk through the thought process. I want to know what the ick is.
The ick, well, the first ick is the fact that, damn, that's a lot of dicks that she done touched.
And now you're going to add yourself to that. You're going to add your dick in that pile.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
For fun.
Okay.
A couple times, maybe just once, maybe a few.
Okay.
Because she'll probably know what she's doing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But for a man to like say that this woman is my woman is like saying that like I'm proud of everything that this woman is and represents. And niggas not proud of, generally speaking.
Okay.
I don't think niggas, it's hard to be proud of a woman who doesn't seem like you just seem like you just another nigga that is gonna come and go. Just how like women, or we was talking before we started recording about how, you know, men like to feel needed and feel special, and women do too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's probably more of a thing with women. Women love a nigga who is mean to everybody but nice to them, or you know what I'm saying? Like don't pay attention to no other person in the world, but they give them their undivided attention. Like it's kind of like the same thing. Like you're not exclusive with a whore. You don't feel special with a whore. You not really anything special to her because she done been around the block before. She done did this before. She done been here before. She done got taken here before. Like it's really nothing that you could do that's going to really stand out because she done lived life in the dating spectrum already. So you just another notch on the belt. You're another cog in the machine.
Could this be attributed to ego?
Sure.
Okay. So then I go.
Not all of it.
Fine. I still stand 10 toes. My toes are wiggling, guys. I still stand 10 toes down on it is a societal thing. Because I believe that if society were not there and that whore treated you good, she made you feel loved. It doesn't matter what she did before in your present when you're with her. She makes you feel like you're the only man that exists.
Nah, it matters. It matters. I don't think you can sit here and tell a man that it don't matter. It matters.
I don't know that it does. My thought process was if society didn't exist, which that's not reality because they do, right? So I'm not telling you that it doesn't matter. I'm wondering if the majority of the push behind not dealing with a certain type of somebody, when you can deal with them within the confines and parameters that you set with them, you can. I wonder if that other piece, I just strongly believe that it has to do with the societal outlook and thoughts. Because what nigga wants to walk around with a neighborhood hoe?
That's what I'm saying.
But that's not because of you. That's because of everybody else. Because if everybody else didn't exist, walking around in a world without everybody else, the neighborhood hoe wouldn't be a thing.
If nobody else existed, she wouldn't have fucked nobody else.
If she fucked 200 niggas and then yesterday the world all of a sudden were empty and it was just you and her. It's extreme on purpose.
Okay.
But I am getting to the point it is a societal thing.
Maybe a better, more realistic example would be like she fucked 200 niggas and then we moved out of the country.
Fine. Then what?
The ick is still there. It still exists though.
Okay.
And that wouldn't have to do with society, because if she fucked 200 niggas in Atlanta and then we moved to fucking Italy, right? Nobody knows me, nobody knows her, nobody knows us.
Your family still exists? Your family still know you got the neighborhood whore on your shoulder?
Even if my family didn't know, nigga, I know.
We not yelling at each other. I feel it.
I'm sorry.
It.
But I'm saying for me. But I don't think it's, part of it is that other people know, yes. But at the end of the day,
you're gonna lay down with the whore that sucks your dick really, really well.
I know, yeah, but I'm still not, and that goes back to the conversation of niggas need to feel needed. Like, I know in my heart I'm not special to you.
You weren't special, but now maybe you are.
No, stop it. That's you, because now you in that same lane of like, oh no, I used to have threesomes and orgies, but I love you though, so I don't want to do that anymore. Like, nah, don't go to church now.
But why not? Why can't I have had a previous part of my life where I lived it the way I wanted to live it? Mm-hmm. And now I'm looking to make a shift. Why not?
You can do all that.
But why is...
Not with me.
Are you speaking specifically to you, or are you trying to consider this as a whole?
I don't think it's too many niggas out there.
There's a lot, actually. Niggas wife hoes all the time. They turn hoes into housewives all the time.
They don't turn them.
They marry them.
That don't mean they turned them.
Okay.
That means the man is trying to turn them. That don't mean that they got turned. Is what I'm saying.
We're changing perspectives. We were talking about a man having the desire to wife a hoe.
Okay.
Now you just said they trying to turn them, so they've made the decision.
I don't think
that
that's
now
I don't think that's the majority of niggas though. To answer your question.
Okay.
Because I said I don't think it's too many niggas, and then you say there's a lot of niggas out here.
It's a lot of niggas. It's a lot. It's a lot of niggas.
I don't think that the majority of men are out here being okay with making a decision to, you know what, I know she did a whole lot of shit in her day, in her past, but I'm cool with being the guy where she's gonna turn the corner on.
I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in this.
Okay.
For shits and giggles. Should this bode the same way for women and whore men?
Should it?
By should it, can you see a world where it does and where it's cool? Because in your world, it seems to be acceptable for niggas to treat hoes like they'll be a forever whore.
Well,
so then can this be the same on the other side?
I think if women collectively change their standards, then yeah.
But men don't have a collective standard. So why now all of a sudden do women have to have a collective standard?
I just think you're wrong there. I think collectively men don't want to wife a chick who used to be on some hoe shit. I think the niggas who wife whores, like how you were saying, I think that is a minority group.
Okay. All right. So now we have the minority of niggas who wife whores.
Mm-hmm.
We have the minority of niggas who don't wife big girls. So now when does the collective of minorities turn into the majority?
I think the majority of niggas don't wife hoes. They fuck them. They'll have fun with them. I think the majority of niggas, I think at least 51% of niggas will have fun with a big girl. Sorry.
Fucking hate that guy.
I think at least 51% of niggas will have fun with a big girl, but not wife her. So that's what I mean when I say majority. I'm talking 51% at least. Because that's the majority. That's over half.
Okay.
I think that.
Okay. I heard your thoughts. I see them. I mean, they are ringing loud.
But to the women, collectively, I think that women don't really give a fuck about niggas' past experiences because I actually think that they champion the shit. Huh? You gotta pee? All right, we can take a break. It's hilarious. Hey, look, Nick is fucking calling in.
Are they?
Yeah. Can you hand me it? That's hilarious. Hello there. But all right, call back. All right.
The way
Feeling good, huh?
that pee. Whew.
Oh, Lord. All right.
Jesus Christ. How many people joined the live?
I mean, people just kind of like jumping in and out. So maybe like 50 or something like that. You ready, Nick? You good? You got to take a couple more breaths there?
The way I was clenching
Oh, my Lord.
to hold that pee. Woo, that was rough. Okay. We're done with live?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's try to wrap up I don't know. Nick is gonna call in, but I don't know what she's gonna call in about. I don't know if she's calling in about the BBW shit or what.
If we've moved past it by the time she calls, then she's gonna have to catch up.
So what's the end verdict on?
There isn't one. We're gonna see different sides of this. I deal with men.
Okay.
You don't.
Well, okay. Tell me this though. Why do you think Not let's not debate whether or not men expect you to, I don't know, expect less.
Sure.
But why do you think that is?
Um,
Like, what about being a BBW? Do you think prompts uh, people to be less, I guess, invested in like really committing to you?
to be honest, a part of me feels like a part of me, just with putting quick thought into this, because I've never been able to wrap my mind around the why, but a part of me feels like it's because they might feel like if we
One second.
if we as big girls don't care enough about ourselves not to be big, then we must not care about ourselves enough for them to then care about what we want. Or if we're willing to settle on being the shape that we are.
One second. One second. One second. She's in the middle of a really good answer.
Um,
I hear that.
Well,
if we are willing to settle for being out of shape, then we should be willing to settle for less than is the only thought process that I can try to put behind it. Um yeah, that's all I got on that. Cuz to be honest with you, like I don't, to me that's not logical.
okay.
But if I had to put some thought behind why a motherfucker would feel that way,
Oh, fuck. Okay.
cuz to be honest with you, like it pisses me off
Okay.
because quite literally you could just leave me the fuck alone. You could actually, if you feel like I deserve less than whatever you're willing to give a different skinny bitch, then why not just leave me alone? Why approach me at all? Why want anything from me? Why, it to me should be an all or nothing.
Because you could. I don't know if that's rhetorical or not, but
Kinda, but you come with an answer,
yeah,
so
nah. Because it's because of what you said. Like if somebody is thinking like, oh well, she don't really put in maximum effort to, you know what I'm saying, to look as best as she can, and like in my opinion, right? If I'm like the ancient nigga who's having the thought,
sure.
if she don't put in maximum effort to maximize how she looks, then clearly I don't have to put in maximum effort to fuck with somebody who look like how she looks.
That's what pisses me off. That's a not the whole piece that pisses me off, but a big part of it. Because the ignorant, stupid, probably mostly unattractive niggas who think that way, where is the thought around maybe there's something medically wrong? Not always, but a lot of times, sometimes that can be the thing. Niggas don't think that way. Niggas go to, what can I do to make me feel better about only giving her what I think she deserves? They don't think about this could be from something else. And a lot of times it is for women. A lot of times it is a hormonal issue. But niggas go to, she doesn't want to do better, so she looks like this. Also, effort is subjective. Because what I think is effort for myself might not be effort for you. And just because I don't look the way you want me to look doesn't mean that I'm not putting in effort that I deserve for me. My effort, this could be my max effort. But you don't get to determine how I look. You don't get to determine what I should look like. But I go back to what I should look like is based on who?
What I want, my preference.
Sure. I wonder a world, this would be an amazing, remember Black Mirror?
I do. Hold on, 1 second. 1 second.
I'm not shifting.
No, I'm not either. But I'm holding the phone up, and people who are watching it are like, "What? Why is he holding the phone up?" So we did just get an inbound call from our good friend Nick, aka Erotic Boudoir, aka Shooter B Cam for Not Jax Productions. Nick, what's going on? I got you on speaker. You're next to the microphone. Just introduce yourself real quick, and if you had any input on what you just heard, now is the time to share.
Yeah, so funny that my ears and my energy was burning. I called at the right time, as you're discussing with BBW. And I 100% agree with what Freck is saying, where men will look at plus size women and think that they're lazy, they're undisciplined, they're less than. You know what I mean? I 100% agree with that. And that carries over from the dating world to professional world too. A lot of businesses look at people that are larger, overweight, BB dub, however way you want to say it, and think that they're not going to have a good employee as well, and think that they're lazy because they weigh more, because they're bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it, but what was the question?
Basically, the question was like, sorry, we got a train passing. I don't know if you can hear that or not.
No.
One second, one second, one second, one second. Damn, that shit loud as fuck. God damn. So,
Hi y'all, it's Nick.
so the original question was basically like, why do men expect for bigger women to kind of like, settle for less or not be treated as well, just based off of their, them being a BB dub.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Um,
Trash. Bashura.
but and my stance has always been just like I just think it's really as simple as preference. A lot of the time, like Freck, I think you giving niggas a little bit too much credit of like thinking so deeply into it.
They're not thinking. That's the problem.
But that's kind of what I'm saying though. Like I don't even think it's not really a thought process. It's more so of just like, okay, well, it's 4 bitches in a group. I really, really like that one, but I might have a better chance of getting at the one who is bigger.
Where do you think preferences are formed? How do you think preferences are formed?
Um,
Good question, Frank.
I was, nigga, I'm about to hang up on you, nigga.
Thank you, girl.
I'm the beef ham right now.
But nah, I mean, definitely part of it is media for sure. But I think part of it is, I think part of it is like I guess visceral would be the right word, like just instinctual. Like you see something, you like it, you don't really know why you like it, but you just do. You know what I'm saying? Something that really isn't taught because I don't think the majority, the big part of attraction, I don't think it's really a science behind it. I think it's like you see something or you see someone, you think it looks good, or you see someone or something and you don't think it looks good. It's almost kind of like music. You hear some shit for the first time, you're like, ooh, that shit is fire. Or you hear some other shit, and you're like, man, that shit is whack. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not really I don't really know if it's a science
I
behind
call
it.
bullshit. Respectfully.
Okay.
I love you. You know.
Okay.
You know, you have a piece of my heart always. But I call bullshit. I call bullshit on all of this because as you grow up, you're introduced to things, right? And the things that you're introduced to, what your family brings into your life, the family that you grew up with, all of that shapes your outlook on the world. And then you get to a point where you're able to then see things for yourself. And then you start seeing things that are constantly put in your face. All of that helps to build your preference. All of that helps to build how you see the world. This is not something that you just one day woke up with and was like, you know what, goddamn it, today I like skinny bitches. That's not a thing. Every outlook that we have, it started somewhere. This did not just come from you. It might feel like it, but if you go back, for instance, and this is just an example, this is not like law, because who the fuck am I? A big bitch, a big pretty bitch. That's who the fuck I am. If you go back, a lot of men, thanks girl, a lot of men who do not like big girls, they have very generally speaking, slim mothers, slim sisters and cousins and family members. And they might have been raised to be very active and athletic. And so then they were then surrounded by probably women that were more athletically built. Right? And so then for them, that was the standard. This is how I grew up. Okay. I grew up seeing this. I grew up around this. Now, for people, men maybe who maybe had a bigger mother, had a big mama, right? Cousins were thicker. They ate maybe a little less healthy. Or They grew up around somebody who might have been sick, right? And so they couldn't get in shape. And so they grew up with, while this person wasn't the standard for beauty per the media, this person loved me. This person made me feel like I was important. This person saw me. So regardless of what they look like shape-wise, this is a good person, and this person made me and gave me a space in their life and in their heart. I'm okay with big people or any person because it's been proven to me that regardless of how a person looks, they can treat me good. That's all called perspective, but it's based on your circumstances, where you've come from, and the foundation that's been provided for you. That is not something that just comes from your little minuscule ass brain. It's collective work and collective building of perspective. I like chocolate men. My daddy is chocolate. My uncle is chocolate. My grandfather, ironically, is very, very fair skinned. Mm-hmm. I gravitate towards chocolate. My Meemaw is chocolate. Most of my family, chocolate. I grew up seeing that, and the beauty in the skin, and I was drawn to it from young. That's what I was used to. Mm-hmm. I wasn't used to seeing a bunch of fair skinned men. I was used to seeing a bunch of short men. Most people in my family are tall, mm-hmm. 6'3", 6'4", and then y'all look at me like, well, yo short ass, why you like? That's what I'm used to. I'm used to big, stocky, tall, brolic men. That's what I'm. That is my standard of mm-hmm. a man. So
I don't like everything that you're saying. It checks out. Like, I'm not saying that that's not part of it. My only issue is like, if it kind of feels as if women be trying to like, again, like X out the option of maybe that's just what a nigga like. Because my mom is slim, but my grandmother on my mom's side was super overweight. Mm-hmm. I got a couple of aunts who are overweight. Mm-hmm. My grandmother on my dad's side was a slim, petite woman. Mm-hmm. So like I've seen both.
But you grew up in an athletic space. You grew up playing ball.
It's fat niggas who play sports. I was one of the fat niggas who play sports.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you grew up with the idea that working out and being physically fit was the goal. Okay. You're still striving for that goal.
Right.
Right? So to see a woman that's not striving for that, mm-hmm. that's not something that attracts you.
But it's bitches who ain't never worked out in 30 years.
But they look it.
That's what I'm saying. So, but my point is, like, it's not necessarily on first glance, it's not like, ooh, she work out. It's just fucking, ooh, like, she look nice.
I think,
and it's mad big people who fucking work out crazy. It be niggas in the gym who be running more than me, and they fucking, I'm like, damn, nigga, you putting in work.
Sure. You
know what I'm saying? So again, I agree. Like, I think whenever we had these conversations, I think sometimes we
come to a crossroads.
Sometimes people lose sight of the fact that, nigga, I'm in the big person under that umbrella too. So I understand it, but it's like I understand it from a in my opinion, from a more realistic perspective.
You understand it from a perspective where it's not being thrown at you and used against you.
Shit.
Get the fuck out of here.
I thought we not yelling.
Fuck out of here.
I thought we not yelling.
No, just piss me the fuck off. Are you crazy?
Because nigga, you know me since what, 2020? But you ain't know the chubby elementary kid, the chubby middle school kid, the chubby high school kid who when we gotta go shirts and skins, I'm hoping I don't gotta be skins.
But we're talking about in the dating space. You're speaking. When the last time a woman turned you down
for being
6 foot and 250, 60 fucking pounds?
Bro, we all know PTSD and trauma starts from when you is young.
And that helps to build your what? Perspective on life, on what you don't want in the future.
So I know what it feels like.
But you also know that that's not something that you look for. You've been there. You've been the fat kid. So even back then, mm-hmm. Your brain. Let me calm the fuck down. Even when you were the child that was being picked last for a sport,
I ain't never. We're not talking about that. I could play. I'm not being pick last, but I'm talking about with
Fine.
girls. With girls.
Even back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Because you were big, you were turned down.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to allow you to sit here and tell me that experience, those experiences don't help to shape what you look for in a person today. Those are experiences though.
But that's not what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
What I was saying was because I've had those experiences of not being picked by a girl because maybe I'm the chubby kid or I'm the fat kid or he, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Like it was a very early dose of like reality in terms of like, oh shit, like this plays a part in what if people find you attractive or not. It matters and it plays a part and it counts. Like, and I can't discount it and try to like put other reasons and nuances into it. Sometimes it's flat out, my nigga, like, damn, like, but she just don't like fat niggas, bro.
But okay, I hear you. And if you're saying that, we're saying the same thing. I literally said that what you look for today in a person, that's coming from the experiences and the way you were brought up, the things that were poured into you or pulled out of you when you were younger, all of that helps to shape your perspective today. You just said the same exact fucking thing. Yours, though, was from a personal experience that has helped to shape what you look for, what you desire, what you want, what you won't deal with long term. That's helped to shape this. You didn't wake up one day at the age of, I don't fucking know, 16 and be like, today I don't want a big bitch. No, that came from treatment, the way you were treated, the way you were looked over by women, girls, that came from there. All of that shit helped to shape your perspective on this. This wasn't just it's just in me. I just don't like it. No, that's not what this is. That is a part of the perspective. Because at the beginning, you made it like sometimes niggas just don't like fat bitches.
It do be that. Because yes, we're gonna come to a standstill. Yes, but all I'm saying is, at that young of an age, when I was on the receiving end of that, it really was just that cut and dry. It really was just like, he fat. I don't like him. And
I understand that.
But my issue is like all of these other reasonings around. Like, bro, sometimes you just fat. And just sometimes people just don't like it. And like, as a dude, as a man, I just think we're just in positions to just be like, damn, I am fat. You're right. She just don't like that shit. So like, that's just an L. I just gotta wear that shit on the chin.
Just because as a man you decide to be thoughtless, that doesn't mean the thoughts are correct. That doesn't mean that that's right.
How is that?
Because you're making the decision not to see this thing deeper. You're making the decision to settle with, no, she just don't like me. I'm a big nigga and she just don't like me. You're deciding not to think deeper about that. Like, you're literally deciding to just be cool with just the fact that a bitch will say she just don't like big niggas. And I think it's fine to settle on she just doesn't like me. Fine. But there is a reason why she doesn't. It's not just because you can receive it that way.
Okay.
But that's not where it ends and starts with her. That's not where it ends and starts with the man that don't like big bitches. It doesn't just end and start. It's not a flat, she just doesn't like. Nothing happens mentally and emotionally. Things generally do not happen just because. There are things that feed into that. It might be minuscule. Mm-hmm. It might have been from way back when. But this shit ain't just random. These feelings of not liking big bitches, that shit is not just random. Yes, today as an adult, the reality of it is you, Jackson, you just don't like big bitches. That's how it's put out there. Fine. And that's the thing. You don't like big bitches. And I think
I know, right?
And I think for that to be the blanket statement, fine. I think that's okay for niggas not to like big bitches. That's fair. I know, as a person who thinks very deeply, that came from somewhere. It might not be so surface for the person who's thinking it, but I would be willing to bet my last fucking dollar that if you go back. I don't even know how far back. I'd be willing to go back to childhood for sure. But if you go back, there are things within that person's past that they've seen, heard, felt that has shaped their perspective around this topic for today. It's put out there as shit. I just don't like them. Fine.
So should the overall goal be for should we try to get men, not even men, should we try to get people to be more attracted to overweight?
No.
You didn't even let me finish my question.
Because the answer is no, because we shouldn't try to have people to open their minds around anything they don't want to. I believe in preferences. I like tall niggas. Do I think somebody should try to convince me to like a short nigga? No. I like tall niggas. That's my plight. That's my story. That's my truth. Is there a reasoning behind it? Can I understand the reason? Can I see the reasons? Hell fucking yeah. And I totally know why. But should somebody try to convince me otherwise? No. If I do and I am attracted to a shorter guy, that's because I am, not because somebody tried to condition me to be that way. It's simply because this person did something, showed up a different way, and something about them made me see them differently outside of their height. I should not, though, be convinced, or my mind shouldn't be opened to desiring something that I don't fucking desire.
I agree with that.
I don't want the niggas who don't like big bitches to then be convinced to like big bitches. No, 9 times out of 10, us big bitches don't want your ass any the fucking way. Let's be honest.
All right. Before we move on to
I got a headache.
Before we move on to the next segment, Nick, is there anything that you would like to add? I know we didn't kind of had you on hold because as soon as you called, nigga, the conversation kind of like turned up a little bit. So
I emptied my bladder.
That's because I had to give the shakalaka to my girl over there, Fred. You know.
My God, today.
No, I mean, I again, I agree with what she's saying. I think that preferences come from environment and upbringing. We had a person on live one time that we were all talking to, and I specifically asked that man, why do you have the preference? Why is your preference for plus size women? And he said exactly what Freck just said. You know, Big Mama was in the kitchen. I got all the love and, you know, I got all the attention and affection from plus size women. And that's just always been my preference because that's who showed me love. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that may be true. You may have been molded that way because you said your grandmother was super BBW.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my mom. Yeah, my mom's mom. Yeah.
So you may have seen her struggles with her health and psychologically said to yourself, you know, I don't want to go through that, and I don't want to be with someone that's going to go through that long term.
Yeah.
You know, so like my grandmother was a smoker and she died from throat cancer. I grew up seeing like the doctor's visits and smelling the things coming from her neck and all of those things. And that, to me, when I was young, I was like, I will never smoke cigarettes. Mm-hmm. That's a preference, you know what I'm saying? And when people smoke cigarettes, I'm like, I'm good. I don't like the smell. I don't want to be around it. It's not attractive to me. I don't want no parts of it.
Yeah.
So I did, you know, I 100% agree with what Freck is saying. I don't have much to add to it. You know, she said it all. I don't have much to add. You know, I just was calling in to try to get in on the fun here.
Well, were you calling in with a specific question or what?
Yes, my question to you, since being in Atlanta, and I hope it probably was asked to you before, but how has your dating been since being in Atlanta? Has it been better than the experiences in Philadelphia? As the one, what's different with the women, Atlanta women, Georgia women versus Philadelphia, Pennsylvania women?
Uh,
How's it going?
how's it going? That's hilarious. I mean, I would say that